Here we are, 2 Gothic Christmas-themed candles by City Wicks. Let's start with this one right here, entitled Christmas Morning. But I want to draw your attention to the spelling of morning, not the morning that you might associate with Christmas. So yes, Gothic indeed. Let's see what this candle is all about. Wow. Bigger candle, bigger punch of aroma. Woo! I love it. I love it. I don't know if this is the direction Liz is going for, but as soon as I smelled this candle, I said, dead Christmas tree. A tree that has seen its glory for the holiday season, but is no longer living. The needles have turned a rusty brown. The needles are falling to the floor, ready to be swept up by the vacuum cleaner. Yes, this Christmas tree has not been given any water. So, dead Christmas tree. What I mean by that is highly, highly concentrated pine and cedar smells. A very resinous smell as well. When you throw out your Christmas tree in January, or if you just don't water your Christmas tree and it gets dried up on you during Christmas, right here. That's such a rich, robust smell. It almost smells like those sachets that you would buy with the biomass inside, or those little log cabin incense sticks. Now there's already that citrusy, lemony quality in pine that's gonna brighten up this candle, but there's something else tart here that I feel is lifting this candle up. And I wanna say Granny Smith apple, maybe even underripe Granny Smith apple. You know, the apple where you bite into it and it's just that tart malic acid and you make that sour face. Oh yeah. And once again, that little sprig, that twig, that branch from the apple tree comes to mind. But it's those 2 distinct elements that I'm concentrating on when I smell this candle. I was recently in this furniture shop, this random place on the side of the road where they made these beautiful custom-made pieces of furniture from huge, huge oak trees. And that's what I'm smelling here. Not lacquer, nothing like that, and certainly nothing like a 2x4 or that Home Depot smell. This smells like beautiful wooden furniture. So Christmas morning, my thoughts with the Gothic label and theme in mind, I'm thinking of that expired Christmas tree, and again, that bright, sour like pine, citrus, and Granny Smith apple. But the elegance and the luxurious feel of that wooden furniture, that furniture shop. Christmas Morning by City Wicks. I want to burn this one. Last, but certainly not least, and probably the most talked about Christmas candle from City Wicks, that's going to be, of course, Krampus. That's going to be Krampus. Oh boy. Now Liz was telling me that she created this candle long before Krampus started to trend in pop culture. Over the past several years, we've been seeing one film after the other of this character of folklore, Krampus. But this has been on her shelf for several years. And she said she did much research to make sure she was really, really dialing it in, telling a story, and making sure that this was appropriate and lived up to its name, Krampus. But what does it smell like? What does it smell like? I have to say from the beginning, I really don't know much about Krampus. the folklore, the stories, the tales, the superstition, whatever it may be. I don't know too much, but I have some literature right here that we can skim over after I give this candle a brief sniff. Okay, once again, we're outside. Baby, it is cold outside because there is strong cooling sensation of some form of menthol, mentholyptus, eucalyptus. My sinuses are being cleaned. My lungs are tingling with coolness. My eyes are actually tingling a little bit as well. And you know, when you think of a man/goat, you don't think of necessarily pretty things. My first impression here, this is certainly very intriguing and quite beautiful. We are getting that cooling sensation, we are getting that mintiness, but it is going to be accompanied with a significant amount of sweetness. I'm gonna say there's some vanilla cream in here, almost like a vanilla pudding. Ah, and here we go. This is something I can't leave out. And now that I'm smelling it, I remember Liz telling me about this. There is this Trident gum wintergreen smell. Think of birch beer. Birch has a naturally minty wintergreen smell to it. And what does Krampus carry around with him? He carries around what? Those birch twigs to smack and to whip the little children, right? So definitely sweetened. We got a little bit of spices in the background, some baking spices. And we have that dried and steeped orange peel. Not potpourri, but you know what I mean. A little bit of that spice from that, let's say, blood orange zest. This thing is so cool. This is blizzard-like conditions, this candle. It is really, really cool. This will certainly bring you outside. This will make you feel cold in the warmth of your own house. And I have some materials, some literature here on Krampus. I thought I'd share it with you. Half man, half goat. A creature of the night that looms in the shadows, hunting on misbehaved children. European folklore trace the figure of Krampus to the 12th century. So not a new idea, not a new figure in history. Hooves and a horn, a long pointed nose, and fangs that would emasculate Dracula. On Christmas night, Krampus's chains must not be mistaken for Santa's sleigh bells. The rattling of his chains can be heard for miles. He cradles a bundle of birch branches to swat at little children. And God forbid you if you've been an exceptionally rotten child, because Krampus will snatch you by the nape of your neck and stuff you in his sack and send you straight to hell. This is getting, you know what? This is getting family friendly is what I strive for. So Krampus, obviously a character, a figure in folklore that you don't want to mess with. He's the antithesis of Santa Claus. He has hooves and horns. That's good enough for me. If you have hooves and horns, you know, you might be a sweet person, but I'll see you in the next life. What Liz has done, in all seriousness, taking the research, taking the history, taking what people know as this figure, Krampus, and putting it into an aromatic form, putting it into this jar, putting it, making it into a candle. I understand why this is a very popular candle for Witch City Wicks. Make sure you check the website out to see if you want this candle or any of the candles that we spoke about today. I highly recommend you check out witchcitywicks.com. Like I said, one of the most creative, one of the most thought-provoking, handcrafted candle companies I've experienced in the years I've been purchasing candles. I want to thank you so much for joining me on this little Christmas session, even though it's not Christmas anymore. If you enjoyed this video, remember to give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up, that really helps me out. And if you haven't subscribed already, maybe you want to do that. Lots of City Wicks candles coming up in the very near future. I mean the very near future, so look out for that. Once again, thanks again for joining. I will be seeing you guys very soon, but until then, be good, will you?